Hi, Danny. Okay, so today we are doing lesson number 5, and you are going to start out doing your 100 addition facts for 5 minutes, okay? So I'm going to get my timer out, and are you ready? You got your pencil? Okay, on your mark, get set, go. and we're done. All right, good job doing that. We are ready to start mental math now. So here's the mental math. Let's go to problem A. And remember, you're going to try to just do these in your head instead of adding them out like it's written. But we're going to add a number ending in 0 to another number. So on number A, we're going to do 24 plus 60. So just think in your head what that is, and then you can go ahead and write that down. Okay, I wrote it there for you. But I'm going to stop giving you the answers now, just the problem. So B is 36 plus 10. Go ahead and write down the answer. C is 50 plus 42. Try and do it in your head and write down the answer. D is 33 plus 30. And E is 40 plus 50. Okay, and then for F, it says, what number is 1 less than 28? Okay, so you're just going to write your answer there. And then it says 87 and 54, but it wants to know the same question. What number is 1 less than 87? You can write it on your paper. And what number is 1 less than 54? Go ahead and write that one down. All right, we're going to move on to where it says patterns. So you'll see a design kind of like this one on your paper. And sorry, Danny, there was so much static on that recording, so I'm just going to record over it and hopefully it makes sense. But this is the pattern that it shows, and you can see the one at the top, and then it wants us to fill the rest of the numbers in all the dots, but it wants you to do the pattern 1 skip, skip, 2 skip, skip, 3 skip, skip. Something like that. So that was a little tricky for me to figure it out, but I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So there's the first skip, like you're going clockwise from the one to the next circle over, and then you keep going clockwise. So the 2 goes there because you left 2 blank, because those are the ones you're skipping. So keep going around, 3 skip, skip, and then it looks like the 4 goes right there in that blank dot. I'll write the 4 in. Okay, I'm showing you here how I did 1 skip, skip, 2 skip, skip. So follow the red dots, and then you can see that the 4 goes there. Now I'm going to switch colors so it's a little bit easier to follow what I'm doing, because now we have to figure out where to put the 5. So you're going to do 4 and then skip, and then skip. And then it looks like the 5 goes right there. And then you have to go skip, skip, and the 6 goes in that spot. Then you're going to go skip, skip, and it looks like the 7 is going to go there. And then where does the 8 go? So you keep following the same pattern, right? So you're going to do 7, skip, skip, and the 8 goes there. And then you're going to skip, skip. And it doesn't matter if there's already a number in the circle or a number out or no number, just try and fill it in. Okay, so if you need to pause it, you can do that. Concepts. So under new concepts, it's going to tell us about ordinal numbers. So it says if you want to count the number of people in a line, you say 1, 2, 3, 4 and stuff like that to count the people. These numbers tell us how many people you've counted. But if you want to describe a person's position in the line, then you say words like first, second, third, and fourth. So they might be first in line, second, third, or fourth in line, stuff like that. So numbers that tell position or order are called ordinal numbers. I'm going to have to pause for a second. Okay, sorry about that interruption. We're going to keep going with ordinal numbers. Okay. It might help to just give you an example of what it is, and then you'll figure it out. Or maybe you already know this. Let's go to example 1. It says, there are 10 people in the ticket line. Pedro is 4th in line. And then it wants to know how many people are in front of Pedro and then B, how many people are behind him. So the solution is shown by a diagram here. So here's part of the solution, and this is going to help us understand the problem. Sorry, so much static again, so I had to redo it. It tells us that Pedro is fourth in line here. So we have to count 4 over. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one right there is Pedro. Okay, so now it wants to know how many people are in front of Pedro and how many people are behind him. So in front, you can see that there are 3 people, and behind him are all these people. So if we count them, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 people are in line behind him. So if there's 3 people in front of him and 6 people behind him, there's 9 other people in line besides Pedro. And there's 10 total people in line. So the answer to A, since Pedro is fourth in line, we see that there are 3 people in front of him. And the answer to B is the rest of the people are going to be behind Pedro. So from the diagram, you can see that there are 6 people behind him. Okay, lots of times ordinal numbers are abbreviated. So if you want to abbreviate first, you just write like this, first. Second is going to be like this, second. Third, fourth, and fifth, and you keep going. I think you know that there's also 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and you keep going. You can even do 11th, 12th, 13th, and if you keep going, you'll get to 20th, which is shown here, 20th. And after 20, it's 21st. It's not like 21 or something weird. It's 21st. And then you do it kind of like first, 21st, like that. Okay, let's move on to example number 2. Example number 2 says, Andy is 13th in line. Kobe is 3rd in line. How many people are between Kobe and Andy? I wonder if you can try figuring it out in your head before we figure it out with the diagram. So how many people are going to be between Andy and Kobe? Make a guess and maybe write down your guess. All right, and then we'll figure it out. So Kobe's earlier in line, so I'm going to count to him. It says Kobe is 3rd in line. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So right here, this is Kobe. Okay. Then it says Andy is 13th in line. So let's count 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So right here, this is Andy. And then the question wants to know how many people are between Kobe and Andy. So I'm going to get a new color. How many people are between? Well, this is going to be 1 person between, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 people between. Was that your guess? You might think that it was more than that, but that's why the diagram is helpful. Okay, we're going to go on to months of the year. So there's a table in the book, or in your worksheet, I'm sorry, that looks kind of like this, and it lists all the months of the year, and then it lists their order, and then it lists how many days are in that month. So we use ordinal numbers to describe the months of the year. So you know this, Danny, there are 12 months in the year. A year is usually 365 days long, but a leap year can be 366. So there can be 365 or 366 days in a year, and it depends on how many days are in February, because this is the only one that changes. Okay, when you write down dates, you can use numbers to show the month and the day and the year. So for example, if Robert was born in June 2nd, 1988, then you would write it like that. So June is the 6th month. If you look over here, June is the 6th month. And so that first number is the month. And then you write the day after that. So the second number is what day of the month he was born. And then the last one is the year. And sometimes you write the year with 4 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1988, or sometimes you can just write it 88 if it's not too confusing. And you just assume that it's 1988 because there's no 2088 yet. Okay. Alrighty, let's move on to example 3. Example 3, it says Jenny wrote her birthday as 7/8/89. What month was Jenny born in? So remember, the first number tells you the month. So then you have to figure out which month is 7th. So you can either look at the table or you can count on your fingers. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So 7th is going to be July. And then this tells you the date, the day, and this tells you the year. So you can figure out that she was born July 8th in the year 1989. So to answer A, what month was she born? It's July. And to answer B, what year was she born? In 1989. Okay, example number 4. Mr. Chitsy's driver's license expired on 4/29/03. Write that date using the name of the month and all 4 digits of the year. Okay, so I'm going to write it again here. 4/29/03. So this is the month, and it's the 4th month of the year, so count on your fingers: January, February, March, April. So this is going to be April. And the second number tells you the day. So it's going to be April 29th, then put a comma. And 03, what do you think that is? It could be 1903 or it could be 2003. So it's probably, since it says his driver's license expired that day, it's probably the more recent one, which is this, because it probably didn't expire like more than 100 years ago. So I'm going to say April 29th, 2003. Okay, now we're going to move on to the lesson practice. Okay, so the lesson part is done, and now you get to do some practice problems. So we're going to start on page 19, here where it says lesson practice, and you need to do these problems. Now, you might not have enough room right here on this little piece of paper to do it, so you can write out and show your work on the graph paper if you need more room, and then just write the answer here, and then I'll correct it later. Okay, then you're going to do the mixed practice. So this is a word problem right here, and you might need, it looks like you'll need a little bit more space to figure that one out, so you can do it on the graph paper and then just write the answer there. And then do this, all of these problems, and then you have the whole other page to do. Okay, so you can figure all of those out, and I'll correct it when I get home. Okay, love you, bye.